let's talk about the difference between lead measures and lag measures. Many people have only lag measures within their company, which we believe is a mistake. So what's a lag measure? A lag measure is revenue, how much revenue you make. A lag measure is profit. A lag measure is, for example, let's say client satisfaction rate. Okay, so these are lag measures. Why? They're called lag measures because there is lag until you get to them. However, you cannot measure a lag measure on a day-to-day, or you cannot plan for it on a day-to-day, because a lag measure is a result. And so what you need to measure is lead measures. Lead measures are the parts of business or parts of your activity that tell you whether or not you're going to hit your lag measures. So let me give you an example. If we look at revenue as a lag measure, okay, what are some of the things that we can measure that are lead measures that will lead to that lag measure? For example, number of contacts reached. So how many people did we speak to this month? Let's say 1,000. We want to hit 1,000. After that, we can get to number of conversations held, sales conversations held. So we reached out to 1,000 people. Let's say we have a 1% conversion rate to sales calls. So we had 10 sales calls. So at the 10 sales calls, we know, okay, this is a lag measure from the lead measure of reaching out to people. And then from there, we can say, okay, how many of those people do we convert, as in, follow-up emails, follow-up conversations, and so on and so forth, which are the lead measures that can then lead to a lag measure, which is revenue at the end of the day. And similarly with that, client satisfaction, for example, you can measure it, but again, it's a result. And so what you can do is you can send client update emails. You can have client feedback conversations once a month or once a quarter or whatever. You can do things to make sure that that client is always satisfied, which are the lead measures. So lead measure, again, how many or what percentage of our clients have we spoken to on the phone this month, right? And so if we've spoken to 50% of our clients, we know that next month we need to speak to the other 50% of clients, so 2 months don't pass before or in between client conversations, right? So this is something very helpful that you can, let's say, use within the, let's say, overarching view of your business. Again, most people have only lag measures. We recommend you distinguish between lead measures and lag measures. And if you do that, you will see that you'll have a much better view on what leads to success. Okay? Maybe reaching out to people over email doesn't work. Maybe reaching out to people over LinkedIn works, or through Instagram, or maybe going to events works. Whatever lead measures you can put in place to see if you reach your end lag measure. So there are 4 main things we recommend everyone measure. And so those things are, number 1, top line revenue. So top line means the money amount that comes into your account every month or every year. After that, bottom line profit. This is what we call take home cash. So this is what you can send yourself as dividends. So let's say you made revenue of 100 grand, and let's say your total expenses of everything was 80 grand. So your bottom line profit margin is 20,000, which you can send yourself as dividends. Or if you're, again, a director, manager, employee within a company, you can negotiate, hey, based on how much profit I generate, I want a percentage of that profit, right? Basically, you can add that to your Digger Act, right? In terms of consequences, if I do good in my role, this is how much more money I can make. Number 3 is client satisfaction. You should always measure client satisfaction and not measure it as, hey, Frank, are you happy? Because they'll say, yeah, I'm happy. I have children, I have a good wife or a good spouse, whatever, I'm generally happy. So that's not a very good question. And again, it's a closed question. Please ask open-ended questions. Ask things like, for example, what's one thing that we do that you really enjoy, that you really like about us? Well, I really like this. Okay, perfect. What's one thing that we do that you would wish we would do differently? Or what's one thing we don't do that you would wish we would start doing, right? Very, very good questions that you can ask and then implement based on their answers. And then once they see you implement that, typically you see client satisfaction go up. And then finally, the fourth thing or the fourth area we recommend you measure is employee satisfaction. Okay, so employee means everyone on the team, whether you have contractors, vendors, full-time employees, right, W-2s, and so on. You want to make sure that you measure their satisfaction the same way you would measure client satisfaction.